Picture this, September 1966. Ford's Mustang has been printing money for 3 years. 3 years. While Lee Iacocca's baby conquered America, Chevrolet executives watched from the sidelines like kids without lunch money. But on this day, in a General Motors assembly plant, blue paint, chrome, and corporate revenge rolled off the line as one machine, the 1967 Chevrolet Camaro. Not a response, a declaration of war. Ford had the head start. Chevrolet had something better. Time to watch Ford make every mistake first. Time to study, time to improve. Time to build something that didn't just compete with the Mustang, but humiliated it on every metric that mattered. The Camaro wasn't born, it was engineered for vengeance. The name itself told you everything. Camaro, allegedly French for friend or companion. But Chevrolet's real translation? Small, vicious animal that eats Mustangs for breakfast. This wasn't friendship. This was the beginning of the greatest rivalry in American automotive history. 57 years of violence, glory, tragedy, and one final, brutal ending. That first Camaro, rolling off the line, had no idea what it was starting. A war that would span 6 generations. A cultural phenomenon that would define American muscle. A legacy so powerful that even death couldn't kill the legend. This is the complete story. Buckle up. Let's rewind to 1964. Ford drops the Mustang, and it's an instant phenomenon. 263,000 units sold in the first year. Not a success, a cultural earthquake. Chevrolet's response? The Corvair, a rear-engine quirk that Ralph Nader called unsafe at any speed. While Ford counted billions, Chevrolet counted lawsuits. But behind closed doors at GM, engineers weren't panicking. They were plotting. The Mustang revealed Ford's playbook. Affordable, stylish, customizable. Chevrolet would take that formula and add actual performance. The project codename? Panther. But legal issues killed that name faster than the Corvair killed its reputation. September 26, 1966, the 1967 Camaro debuts. The tagline? The Hugger. Cute marketing. But the specs told the real story. Base model, 230 horsepower. SS package, up to 375 horsepower from a big block V8. The Mustang's 289 horsepower suddenly looked adorable. Pricing strategy? Pure genius. Base Camaro, $2,500, exactly Mustang territory. But here's where Chevrolet twisted the knife. The SS 396 package added just $250 for 100 horsepower more. Ford charged premium prices for premium power. Chevrolet made power affordable. First-year sales, 220,000 units. Not quite Mustang numbers, but consider this. Ford had 3 years of brand loyalty, dealership networks, and cultural momentum. Chevrolet caught up to 75% of Ford's volume in 12 months. That's not competing. That's dominating. But the real war? The racetrack. Chevrolet knew street sales followed racing wins, so they built the weapon. The 1967 Camaro Z28. Homologation special for Trans Am racing. 302 cubic inches. Over 400 horsepower in race trim. The mission? Destroy the Boss 302 Mustang. The result? Mission accomplished. The Z28 package, under $500. You got forged pistons, 4-bolt main caps, dual exhaust, heavy-duty suspension, front disc brakes, and 15-inch rally wheels. This wasn't a muscle car. This was a street-legal race car with license plates. Mustang's Boss 302 wouldn't arrive until 1969, 2 years too late. First-generation Camaro, 1967 through 69, established the template. Aggressive styling, long hood, short deck, fastback roofline. The Coke bottle shape that made Mustangs look like economy cars. Every angle screamed speed. Even parked at 7-Eleven, this thing looked like it was doing 90. Options list? Legendary. You could order Rally Sport package for hideaway headlights, Super Sport for big block power, Z28 for racing DNA, or combine them for the ultimate RSSS. Chevrolet understood something Ford didn't. Personalization sells. Every Camaro felt unique. Every Mustang felt mass-produced. By 1969, the Camaro was more than Ford's equal. It was Ford's nightmare. That year's Camaro offered everything from a 230 horsepower inline six to a 425 horsepower, 427 big block. The Mustang's biggest engine? 390 horsepower. Cute, but not enough. 1969, the pinnacle. The Camaro Z28 didn't just race in Trans Am, it dominated. Mark Donohue behind the wheel, Roger Penske running the team, Chevrolet writing checks. The result? Championship after championship while Mustangs watched from second place. The racing success fed street sales, and street sales fed racing budgets. Perfection. 1969 Camaro sales, 243,000 units. Mustang sales, 299,000. The gap was closing, fast. Ford's executives started sweating through their three-piece suits. Then Chevrolet dropped the nuclear option. The 1969 Camaro ZL1. Copo 9560 package. All aluminum 427 big block. 430 horsepower. Officially. Reality? Over 500 horsepower. Quarter-mile times in the tens. With street tires and full interior. Only 69 built. Each one, a Mustang-killing missile. The ZL1 wasn't transportation. It was a statement. Base price, $4,000. The ZL1 engine option alone, $4,718. You paid more for the engine than the entire car. Chevrolet's message to Ford? We don't just beat you. We bankrupt ourselves doing it with style. 1970, second generation arrives. The weight, worth it. The split bumper design, instantly iconic. Longer, lower, wider, meaner. This wasn't evolution. This was revolution. The Mustang's 1971 redesign looked bloated by comparison. Ford gained weight. Chevrolet gained presence. The 1970 to 1973 split bumper Camaros, arguably the most beautiful muscle cars ever built. The Z28 with its ducktail spoiler, hood stripes, and rally wheels, pure automotive art. These cars didn't need to move to look fast. They looked fast sitting in your driveway making neighbors jealous. But 1973, the beginning of the end. Oil crisis, insurance crisis, emissions regulations. Performance died overnight. The LT1 small block, gone. The big blocks, gone. By 1974, the hottest Camaro made 245 horsepower. The 1969 ZL1, over 500. That's not decline. That's automotive genocide. Mustang suffered too. But Ford adapted faster. The Mustang II, though pathetic, kept the nameplate alive and sold well. The Camaro soldiered on with its 1970 platform, getting heavier, slower, sadder with each passing year. Both cars became shadows of their former glory, but at least they were still shadows of legends. Late 70s, a glimmer of hope. The Camaro Z28, now, became the performance king of a very sad kingdom. Trans Am-themed graphics, screaming chicken decals, T-tops for days. Power? Still pathetic. 175 horsepower from a 5.7-liter V8. But it looked fast, and in the 70s, that's all you got. 1977, Smokey and the Bandit hits theaters. Burt Reynolds, Sally Field, and a 1977 Pontiac Trans Am. The Camaro's corporate cousin became a cultural icon, and Camaro sales rode the Firebird's coattails. Proof that sometimes your sibling's success is your success, except when it isn't, and we'll get there. 1979, last year of the second generation. 13 years of production, a record that would stand for decades, over 2 million sold. But by the end, the platform was ancient, the performance was laughable, and the future looked uncertain. Mustang was redesigning. Camaro was praying. The 70s taught America a brutal lesson. You can regulate away horsepower, you can tax away displacement, but you can't kill desire. Camaro and Mustang owners kept the faith through the darkest decade in automotive history. They knew, someday, performance would return. They just didn't know when. Meanwhile, on racetracks, NASCAR and IMSA kept the Camaro legend alive. What the street couldn't have, the track delivered. Race-spec Camaros making real power, winning real races, keeping the brand relevant. Racing proved the Camaro wasn't dead, just resting. But here's the thing about the 70s Camaro. It survived. While Plymouth killed the Barracuda, AMC killed the Javelin, and Dodge nearly killed the Challenger, Chevrolet kept building Camaros. That commitment, that refusal to quit, would pay dividends. Eventually, 1982, third generation arrives. And it's different. Very different. The second-gen curves and muscle? Gone. In their place, sharp angles, wedge design, plastic everything. This wasn't a muscle car. This was a science project. The Mustang went Fox body modern. The Camaro went spaceship? But here's the identity crisis. Chevrolet couldn't decide what this car should be. European handling, American power, efficient commuter, performance icon? The answer? All of the above. None of the above. The base engine, 2.5-liter Iron Duke 4-cylinder making 90 horsepower. 90! The 1969 ZL1 made that at idle. Meanwhile, the Z28 got a 5.0-liter V8 with fuel injection and 165 horsepower. Still pathetic by classic standards. But in 1982, it was king of a very sad mountain. At least it beat the Mustang GT's 157 horsepower. Winning. By default. Then, 1985, Chevrolet accidentally made the third-gen cool. The IROC Z arrives, International Race of Champions branding, Corvette suspension, real performance intentions. 215 horsepower from the L98 V8. Not legendary, but finally, respectable. The IROC Z became the poster car of the 80s. Miami Vice aesthetics, ground effects, digital dashboards, T-tops catching rays. This was the car every suburban dad wanted, every teenager dreamed about, and every insurance company feared. Sales soared. Chevrolet remembered how to make Camaros desirable again. But Ford wasn't sleeping. The Fox body Mustang, especially the 5.0 LX models, became street racing legends. Lightweight, V8 power, and that glorious pushrod burble. The Mustang versus Camaro wars moved from the racetrack to every stoplight in America. The rivalry was back. Late 80s, horsepower creep returned. Emissions technology improved, fuel injection matured, and suddenly, power was legal again. The 1989 IROC Z made 240 horsepower. The Mustang GT, 225. The gap narrowed, the engines roared, and America remembered what fun felt like. 1992. The third gen's final year. The 25th anniversary edition. 245 horsepower, heritage graphics, and a price tag screaming, "Buy me before it's too late." Sales were declining, the platform was ancient again, and everyone knew. Change was coming. Fourth generation, 1993. And it's gorgeous, sleek, curvy, aggressive, modern without forgetting muscle. The LT1 small block Corvette engine, 275 horsepower standard in the Z28. This was the Camaro we deserved in 1982, arriving 10 years late but worth the wait. The fourth-gen Camaro finally looked competitive with imports. Japanese sports cars had invaded, Nissan 300ZX, Toyota Supra, Mazda RX-7, and they made American cars look outdated. The 1993 Camaro proved Detroit could still design, could still engineer, could still compete. But here's where the story gets complicated. Sales. Disappointing. The fourth-gen Camaro never matched third-gen numbers. Why? Coupes were dying. America wanted SUVs, trucks, sedans, two-door sports cars, becoming niche. The Camaro was spectacular, but increasingly irrelevant. 1998, the LS1 arrives, Chevrolet's new small block, 305 horsepower in the SS. Finally, real power was back. This engine would redefine GM performance for decades. The LS1 Camaro SS ran 12s in the quarter mile, stock. This was muscle car performance, with modern reliability. But sales kept falling. Competition increased. Mustang, yes, but also changing consumer tastes. Retro styling was over. Coupes were dying, and even Chevrolet's dealers complained. These don't sell like they used to. The writing wasn't on the wall. It was in giant neon letters screaming, "The end is near." August 13th, 2002. General Motors announces, the Camaro is dead. Production ends. 400,000 jobs lost in the announcement's wake. The Pontiac Firebird dies too. corporate twins to the end. 35 years of continuous production, over 4 million sold, gone. The Mustang stands alone, victorious and lonely. 2003 through 2009, the dark years. No Camaro, no Firebird. The Mustang revives with retro styling and succeeds. Ford proves nostalgia sells, but Chevrolet doesn't have a Camaro to make nostalgic. The rivalry paused, the legend in hibernation. But July 2007 changes everything. A movie hits theaters, Transformers, directed by Michael Bay. The star? A yellow 1976 Camaro that transforms into Bumblebee. Wait, scratch that. Halfway through production, the 76 becomes the upcoming 2009 Camaro concept. Product placement? More like resurrection. Transformers made $700 million worldwide. Millions of kids saw Bumblebee and wanted a Camaro. Problem: you couldn't buy one. Chevrolet dealerships flooded with inquiries. When's the new Camaro? Where do I order? Take my money. GM executives realized they'd killed a gold mine. Chevrolet fast-tracked production. The concept became reality. 2010 production begins. The fifth-generation Camaro. Retro styling meets modern performance. It looked like a 1969, but drove like a Corvette. The design? Polarizing. Some loved the aggressive stance. Others called it bulky, but everyone agreed. It looked like a Camaro. Base model, 3.6-liter V6, 304 horsepower. Wait, the V6 made more power than the 1969 SS Big Block. The SS model, 6.2-liter LS3 V8, 426 horsepower. This wasn't a comeback. This was a statement. We're back, and we brought weapons. Sales exploded. 81,000 units in 2010. 88,000 in 2011. The Camaro outsold the Mustang. For the first time in decades. Ford had the market alone for 7 years, and Chevrolet stole it back in 12 months. This wasn't competition. This was theft. The Bumblebee effect lasted years. Every yellow Camaro sold became free advertising. Kids pointed, parents smiled, drivers waved. The Transformers franchise kept pumping out sequels, each one featuring updated Camaros. GM didn't pay for marketing. Hollywood paid them. Genius. But Chevrolet wanted more than sales. They wanted supremacy. Enter the 2012 Camaro ZL1. Supercharged LSA V8. 580 horsepower. This was the Camaro that could finally destroy the Shelby GT500. On paper, the GT500's 662 horsepower won. On the track, the ZL1 was faster. Balance beats brutality. The ZL1 proved Chevrolet learned from mistakes. Where the GT500 was muscle, the ZL1 was precision. Magnetic ride suspension, launch control, performance data recorder. This wasn't just fast. It was smart fast. The GT500 was a hammer. The ZL1 was a scalpel. 2012 through 15, the golden years. The Camaro was relevant again, profitable again, desirable again. Special editions, Hot Wheels, Neiman Marcus, Dale Earnhardt tribute models, sold out instantly. The Camaro wasn't just a car, it was a cultural phenomenon again. NASCAR embraced the Camaro too. The SS body replaced the Impala in 2013. Camaro versus Mustang battles moved from the street back to Sunday afternoon oval racing. Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch, driving Camaros to victory. The marketing, priceless. Win on Sunday, sell on Monday. The old formula still worked, but success bred complacency. The fifth-gen Camaro. Beautiful, but heavy. 3,800 pounds. The Mustang went on a diet. The Camaro went to Burger King. Handling suffered. Fuel economy suffered. Performance suffered. Sales peaked in 2011, then declined. Again. The pattern repeated. Chevrolet knew another redesign was needed. The fifth gen saved the Camaro from death. The sixth gen would need to save it from irrelevance. Competition intensified. Dodge Challenger, now with Hellcat power. Mustang, now with independent rear suspension. The Camaro needed perfection. 2016, sixth generation arrives, and it's controversial. Smaller, lighter, more refined. It looked different, not retro muscular, modern, aggressive. Enthusiasts divided. It's too small. It looks like a Chevy Cruze. Where's the heritage? But the specs? Oh, the specs told a different story. Base Camaro, 2.0-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, 275 horsepower. Yes, a 4-cylinder Camaro, but faster than V8s from a decade prior. The SS, 6.2-liter LT1, 455 horsepower. The ZL1, supercharged LT4, 650 horsepower. This was the most powerful Camaro ever. Weight savings, 200 pounds gone. Handling, transformed. The 6th-gen Camaro wasn't muscle anymore. It was precision. It lapped the Nürburgring faster than supercars, costing triple. It destroyed Mustangs at every comparison test. On paper, Chevrolet finally, definitively won. 2017, the nuclear option. Camaro ZL1 1LE. Track-focused monster. Aero package. Spool valve dampers. Goodyear Eagle F1 supercar 3R tires. This ran Nürburgring in 7 minutes 16 seconds. Faster than the Dodge Viper ACR. A Camaro. Beating dedicated track cars. This was the pinnacle. But sales. Disaster. The 6th-gen Camaro never reached 5th-gen numbers. Why? Visibility issues. You couldn't see out of it. Styling. Too controversial. Pricing. Creeping upward. The automotive press loved it. Consumers stayed away. Critical acclaim doesn't pay factory workers. Meanwhile, Mustang sales soared. The S550 Mustang hit all the right notes. Retro styling, modern tech, good visibility, reasonable pricing. Ford sold over 100,000 Mustangs annually. Chevrolet struggled to move 50,000 Camaros. The Camaro won the performance war and lost the sales war. Chevrolet tried everything. Mid-cycle refresh, new front end, better visibility, special editions, 1LE packages, Copo drag racers, anniversary editions. Performance kept improving. The 2020 ZL1 ran 10s in the quarter-mile stock. But buyers didn't care. They wanted Mustangs. But this time, the problem wasn't Ford, it wasn't Dodge, it was us, the buyers. COVID-19 hits, sales crater industry-wide, but Mustang recovered. Camaro didn't. 2021, Camaro sales below 30,000. 30,000. The 2010 comeback year sold 81,000. This wasn't decline, this was free fall. GM executives started the meetings, the bad meetings. 2022, rumors swirl. Camaro production ending. 6th gen is the last. Chevrolet denies, then confirms. Spring 2023, official announcement. The Camaro will die. Again. For the second time. Final production. December 2024. 57 years. Over. Why kill it? Sales, obviously. But deeper. Sedans are dead. Coupes are endangered. EVs are coming. The Camaro's platform mate, the Cadillac ATS and CTS, already canceled. Chevrolet needs the factory for electric trucks. The market spoke. And it said, we want crossovers, not Camaros. The final year, 2024. Chevrolet goes out with style. The collector's edition, all the best bits, special badging, documentation for posterity. Dealers mark them up, because of course they do. Final production numbers, classified. But estimates suggest around 23,000 for the last year. Pathetic, but poetic. December 24th, the last Camaro rolls off the line. A white ZL1 convertible. The same assembly plant where the first one was born, now witnesses the death. Workers pose for photos, tears are shed, speeches are made. It's over. The Camaro, dead. The Mustang, still alive. The rivalry, finally decided. Mustang won. Not through better performance, but through consistency. Ford never gave up, never stopped, never took a break. The Mustang has been in continuous production since 1964. 60 years. The Camaro took 2 breaks, and the second one became permanent. Commitment wins wars. But here's the thing. The Camaro lost the war and won our hearts. It was always the underdog, always the challenger, always fighting uphill. Every victory was sweeter, because it was harder. The Camaro died, but the legend lives forever. Bumblebee still transforms, Race cars still compete, and 57 years of history can't be erased. The Camaro may be gone, but legends never idle. They live in every burnout, every drag strip, every movie screen. 57 years, 5 generations. One war that defined American muscle. If you want more battles from the Eternal War, check out our playlists. The Eternal War, for every Mustang versus Camaro showdown, and Extinction events for the legends Detroit killed. Hit subscribe, because this is Car Chronicles, where we keep legends alive even when Detroit gives up. The Camaro is gone, but the story never ends.